All right, what's going on, everybody? I am back with another live stream building a gunplay here. Trying to bust this out. I don't know if I can finish it today. I'd like to try to. I will try to bust it out fast enough to have the review done hopefully soon. I want to review this by next week, actually. Let's turn the music down a little. Excuse me. Throat's dry. But I want to have a review for this done before I work on the what's it called? I want to have a review of this done so I can have just a review, and then I can get the review for the Vidar when that comes out soon to get that done. So I'm gonna take one more second. It's not gonna be as long as it was last time. This is on Saturday, I think, when I was working on previous build, and I'm about ready. I just need to leave my drink somewhere where it can't hit the electronics. I got a big old command center of electronics. I have two cameras going on right now, so some of you may be watching this after the fact. But I'm streaming on YouTube, and I'm streaming also on Instagram right now. And I do that because, gonna be honest, I get a decent amount more of people live streaming on Instagram watching compared to YouTube. So there are some people on Instagram who may not know I'm streaming on YouTube. I don't want to exclude them or anything. I don't keep those live streams up though on Instagram. That's just too much for my phone to handle. I can usually keep them up on YouTube though. You can see my shorts. At least on the YouTube feed, you can see my shorts. Let me check audio. Watching. At least on the YouTube feed. Oh my gosh. So there are some people on Instagram. That probably sounded really weird. Okay. All right, well, let's just go ahead and start. I had a pretty big lunch earlier. I probably shouldn't eat that much, but we'll see how well I can go through this live stream. Not to, little TMI, apologies, but what did we do last time? We worked on the head and the torso and armor parts, and I have a chip going on in here on this left cheek section that I probably need to get taken care of at some point. Don't know what I'm going to do about that, actually. That was definitely on me. So let's put this there for now. Got the instructions. We are actually at we're starting this here. The arm units, yeah. So can't wait for that. Let's get my tools out, actually. I thought I was going to be ready, but I'm not super duper ready. I just got to get tools. Dang, get out. I'm going to try not to panel line this yet. I'm going to have to do that later. I usually do that later. Get all this out too. My goodness. Dang. Definitely gonna need these. Need this. These are just weapons, so I think I'm just gonna hold them off for now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think these are for shoulders. I don't know what these are, so we'll keep them to the side for now. And get a drink. Okay. I'm pretty sure these... I can grab stuff later, but I'm pretty sure these are mostly leg related. Minifigures in there too. Which I think that's for the backpack for this that sticker. There's like only 2 stickers and 3 stickers really for the eyes. 2 for the eyes, 1 for whatever is next. I don't know yet. Keep this to the side for now. Also keep this to the side for now. Watch it tell me something completely different. Like I need the silver stuff like right now. I can't wait to build that big ass sword. That's gonna be so sick. I will definitely need these. These look like inner frames. And then I'm not using these decals yet. These are definitely sticker style decals. I guess eventually I guess I'll use these. Or maybe get water slides if they've made them. For this size kit of Barbatos. I've seen some people will use... Some people don't like when the stickers are a little too big, so I've seen people use high grade stickers, like water slide decals for master grades. And I don't think that's the worst idea. Let me plug in my phone so the battery doesn't die real quick. So far, 6 minutes starting isn't too bad. I think it was like 15. It took... Well, I think it took 15 to start last time. Let's get the coughing out of the way. All right, here we go. I am going to need a lot of parts. Here we go. B18. I have no idea if anyone can hear the music too. I'm listening to lo-fi. I guess I'll find out later. It's not super important. At least I can hear it. You can also hear my clearing of the throat, sadly. Last time I live streamed, it rained. Supposed to rain tonight. Decent amount of rain lately, and then the temperature's supposed to drop. I'm not in love with that. I definitely cannot wait for that Master Grade Vidar. My private warehouse when I get that. Hopefully I don't have it stuck in back order hell on Hobby Japan. But it's supposed to come out this weekend, like the 21st, 22nd actually. Can't wait for that. Okay. Where's the 20th? Good thing so far is a decent amount of these parts are kind of lumped in together. That's something I noticed kind of with more recent real grades. Real grades have a lot of runners, so it gets a little overwhelming to look at all of those runners and parts. But even if it's different colors, a lot of the runners are separated based off body parts, I've noticed. So I built... God, which one was it? Oh, a real great Sazabi. A lot of the inner leg frame is bunched together, and a lot of the leg armor pieces are bunched together. And then sporadically random pieces are on those runners, but it's actually kind of useful for them to do it like that. So that I can kind of easily mark or like put a mental note in my head which runners I'm working on for a body part at that moment. This is kind of like that too, except this is definitely just a mix of different inner frames. I don't think I'm going to finish today, but I'm going to try to get through a decent amount of progress. I have a good flow now after how much I worked on this. Okay. Do I need to make 2 of these? Yes, I do. I'll do that later. B26. The big old shoulder frame base. I remember this kind of from the high grade. High grade Iron Blood Orphans, I think I already said this, but they're kind of revolutionary for Bandai because they were really experimenting with the first ever inner frame, basically, for a Gunpla at that point. They weren't perfect, especially like Barbatos kits had some loose parts. The ply caps were pretty loose. Anything on a Valkyrie frame, though, like Grimgird, I forget some of the other names, but a lot of the Gallarhorn kits that were on Valkyrie frames that were different from a frame like Barbatos, those are so solid. They're like almost completely plastic with a little bit of polycaps in there. And polycaps I don't think are inherently bad, but sometimes I just think it's I just think that polycaps for certain kits, especially some older kits, the joints are really loose and I'm not crazy about them. Sometimes the plastic on plastic's not crazy either, so it's just kind of hit and miss, I guess. So yeah, when they're done for the shoulder frame, let's swap this out, get to the rest of the shoulder frame on the opposite side. And I've already said this in the previous video, but single-bladed nippers, my god. They are. This is revolutionary. I can't. I mean, I'm still gonna keep this, the double-sided one, for really thick plastic, and you know, in case I don't want to break this delicate blade. But next nippers I get in the future, they'll be single-bladed. I can't go back. They're just too nice. This was worth the $45, which is a lot for a nipper, but very worth it. I got tired of having the sand. Used to have to sand with these. I got tired of having the sand in just a ridiculous amount with the previous nippers. Yeah, I didn't like doing that, so. Alright. Sorry. I just had to lock in for a quick second. I'm also pretty close to my window, so hopefully I'm hoping you guys don't hear too much outside. I think traffic's starting to pick up a little bit. A little too much there that I just snipped off, just a little. Yeah, a little oopsie. That's one thing about single blade nippers. You got to be careful. You don't want to take off too much on accident and make it look a little wonky and uneven. Get this knife situated back in there. Sorry. Okay. I'm not going to attach anything yet. Check something real quick. Okay. Got a lot of bees going on here. We got another one where it's another one of these 2X ones. 28. Am I getting this? Yeah, I am getting this on the YouTube feed. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit though. Yeah. Okay. Don't do what I just did. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't touch blades. I'm just always cleaning mine off. A likely story. Alright, now I gotta get C out. Garrett, let's take a guess what C is. Yep. Something I need. C12. Okay. Oh, it's a big old piece. And then C25. Here we go. I really hope these joints exact. Yeah, I think they are. No. I think they're good. Yeah, they're good covered. Because I really don't want to clean the nubs off right now. What I'm about to cut. So that's getting covered, but side of the arm should be too, I think. I gotta put that to the side for now. The cap is somewhere. But I'm putting that pretty far away from me for now. Sometimes I like to take the toothpick because it's not gonna damage this too much. I like to maybe go in here and get some excess plastic out of these creases. The problem is that there are small nub sections that I want to get off. I mean that they are rather small. Dang, my hands have been getting dry again. Fluctuating weather, man. It's been cold one day, damn near 70 the next, too. It's kind of nuts. Uh-oh. There's been a lot of piston action with this kit. Oh, I gotta get an entire... Oh, that's right. I have to build a whole another one of these. Boy. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just go ahead and build this thing. I have been using a hobby knife decently to get nubs out compared to when I use a glass file. Sometimes a glass file, it's just, it is 100% needed. It's pretty windy right now, too. Plastic connection's a little tight on this thing. I'll just do an arm right now. I'll do an arm frame. I might be able to do this whole thing, but I actually don't know, because I kind of do want to do the weapons on stream, but I may have to do those separately on a different day without streaming those. Usually, if I'm being honest, I usually finish the kit all the way in terms of its main body, like the actual mobile suit, and then I do the weapons on my own. I usually don't go back to try to do it again in a live stream. I really gotta cut that close. Yikes. Soul Edge! McFarlane is the GOAT for real. Why are you lying? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, dude. Todd is gonna cook me one of these days. He's absolutely going for me. Those figs shit on Mayfax, brother. But where's the lie? Come on, clean up. Come on. I might even get covered up. I may just not be needing to do this right now. Maddox, how you doing? Where is this going? I think like this. I actually don't know. Dang. I know now. this. There we go. Okay, I see it. I see the vision. Get cooked by Todd or have 4 years of SH Figure Arts diamond releases, dude. give me the gun. I'll just shoot myself in Minecraft. I have to say that. All those diamond releases, people are really pissed off about, though. There is no saving. I think I cut too close, but either way, that's silver. I might paint over this later, this little silver piece, because this whole thing is silver coated. If I try to sand that down, it's going to get rid of that coating. My ancestors hate time. Dude, I didn't even watch any of it, and I do not plan to. I have a friend who's he's an even bigger Dragon Ball fan than I did. He said it was one of the last things Toriyama touched in terms of Dragon Ball properties, so I'm going to watch it and support it. I'm just like, good luck with that. Oh, I got someone on YouTube as well. Hello there. Hey, Omega Maximus. Have you heard that Mattel? Yes, Mattel getting the DC license back is rather nuts. Worst part of building a Gundam is that if you lose a piece, you're pretty much screwed. If you can find it back again, if it's broken, you're kind of screwed unless you have the receipt. And John Ventura said, "Hey yo, how you doing?" But yeah, DC getting the license back. A lot of people don't know how to feel about that. We have Man in a Bubble on Instagram too. A lot of people don't know how to feel about it, and I'm pretty indifferent. I wasn't the biggest hater of the DC Mattel stuff, but it definitely could have been better. But there's definitely times where McFarlane Toys, I would look at it, and it was just a no thank you, dog. So, I don't know. If I'm going to hope that they're gonna be fine, the Mattel DC stuff, because and I've said this in different comments and stuff before. Because Masters Universe, the Universe stuff apparently is doing well, and then apparently also, I'm double checking this, their WWE stuff is doing well. So I'm hoping that will translate for the Mattel stuff. And we have like a full year and 3 months until Mattel come back and take over. I'm watching Daima in Japanese. I'm waiting for all English dub episodes. I haven't watched anime in a while, and I'm not watching that one. I'm pretty hard pressed to watch an anime right now. I'm just really busy. I kind of want to pay attention to shows I haven't seen lately, but I'm also been wanting to build a lot of my backlog of Gunpla, so I can't really pay attention to a show I haven't seen when building, so I've been just watching a whole lot of old stuff I've already seen already. Mostly movies, maybe a couple of TV shows I've already seen. Okay. Oh boy, the hand is going to be interesting. Let me check Instagram real quick. Nothing for a bit. Mattel DC action figures in 2018 added double joint elbows, double joint knees, and the ankle pivot. Yeah, but the plastic quality and the sculpt work was still really wasn't there. And it was like give and take with some of these. So, I felt like some of them had double joint elbows and ankles. Most of them had the swivel ankles. But then some had a single jointed elbow or some had a single jointed knee. And then again, the plastic quality I don't think was up there with, especially compared to Marvel Legends at the time. And then a lot of their sculpt work wasn't great. They had some great stuff, like that Alfred figure is really nice, and their Clayface and Killer Croc Builder figures are really nice too. But I had to Easton Mountain. I skipped Red Hood. That Red Hood just looked straight dookie. I couldn't help it. I have been watching Invincible. I'm on season 3. I finished Invincible last week with that last episode. I've been catching up with it, and I loved season 3. Are you gonna paint the Barbatos after building it? Not in time for the review. I don't know if I'm gonna paint this up either. I've seen people. My local hobby town, someone built it, weathered it, and painted it, and put a bunch of dirt on it, and then left it. And they gave it to the store owner to put in the case temporarily. Absolutely fantastic looking paint, but I'm not there. I'm not at that point in my Gunpla building where I'm that good at painting. I can barely paint in general, but maybe I'll do some color correcting stuff on here if it needs it. Not entirely sure. For now, just straight built. Might panel line later. Remember one of the Marvel Legends teams made Batman prototype? Yeah, that was Dave Vonner. Dave Vonner used to work for Hasbro, and then he got hired at Mattel. I think he got laid off, which was not cool. But he had prototypes. He had a prototype for really 2 nice-looking Batman figures, and then they lost the license, and they just stayed as prototypes. I would be very hard-pressed to see those exact prototypes come back. I don't know if Dave Vonner is still with the Mattel branch. I don't remember. Maybe there's hope if he is, but I really don't expect to see that exact kind of Batman again. And we don't really know what we're going to get. If it's just all straight kid stuff, or if it is going to focus a little bit more on adult collecting, because I think they said they want to do adult collecting with this license. I will believe it when I see it. Which import action figures company should make Invincible? It's definitely going to be Mofex. And the reason why is because they already have the license for the boys stuff, which is Amazon. That's an Amazon Studios thing. I just feel like it's a given. But the thing is that Mofex really, 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 really want to do live action stuff. I just think that they need to bite the bullet and do a well, not all. That's not entirely true. They do specific comic runs, like specifically Hush, certain X-Men stuff, and then Daredevil. But they seem when it comes to stuff, those are comics. When it comes to stuff that is in media, it seems like they want to, or like film and TV. They want to focus on live action. It seems. I would be very hard pressed to see them make one. I would love to see them make a Mofex Invincible. I will buy like 3. I'll buy a bunch. But on SH Figure Arts would be good too. I can honestly see, maybe even Figma. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not been crazy about Figma lately, but there's a chance they can swoop in and save us all. I'm trying to find an A runner. What did I do with it? There's here. Let's see. I don't have great organization right now. I'm excited for James Gunn's Superman. Yes, I do want to see that, and I feel like a lot of people have preemptively hated on that just because it's not Zack Snyder anymore. I've never liked Zack Snyder's stuff. That's just a personal thing. Anyone that likes Zack Snyder's Superman stuff and the Justice League, all that, that's fine. No skin off my nose. I didn't like that direction. And then he really has, I have to say it heck it is, he's enabled a lot of bad behavior from his, what we call the Snyder cultists. I mean, what else is he supposed to do? He really shouldn't respond to any of it, I guess, but I don't know. I just feel like he knows that he has a lot of people that will die hard watch anything he likes, or you know, he makes for whatever reason, because like Rebel Moon was bad. Army of the Dead was not great. So I don't really know what else to say about it. Hang on. Something's wrong. We got it. We got it. Mafex action figures are great, but oh my god, they're getting sorry. Mafex action figures are great, but oh my god, they're way too expensive. And they're getting more expensive. They're usually like $100. Maybe if it's an older re-release, it's like 85, but like Tim Drake Hush Robin is going to be 100, like pushing 110, like almost 100 before shipping on like Ami and stuff, and he barely comes with anything. Same thing with the Killmonger figure. I would love SH Figure Arts figures for Invincible Omni-Man. They would probably stop at. They would probably do Invincible and stop at Omni-Man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I noticed the trends of SH Figure Arts, and by extension Mafex too, of what they're willing to do, and they don't want to take risk on things that aren't gonna sell. Mark and Nolan will definitely sell. Eve and Robot and stuff like that might have a harder time selling. But that being said, I'd love to see them all get figures, like high-end imports, as well as not need to buy the Diamond Select stuff. You cannot pay me to get the Diamond Select stuff. I'm not watching that Snow White movie either. I don't usually watch Disney movies, like strictly Disney stuff anymore. I just don't. I don't think I've watched a single one of those live action remakes. If I'm trying to remember, I've stayed away from Lion King, Jungle Book, Aladdin, all of those. I just was never interested. You have the cartoons. Just watch that instead. Hang on. Man. That's not right. There we go. That's still not right. I think this is it. Okay, there we go. Plug in. How do I prefer the colors on Batman's costume? Black and gray or blue and gray? I honestly prefer... I like both. I think I'll stick to classic and go black and gray, but blue and gray on Batman is also really nice colors. I am getting that... I am getting that blue Mafex Hush Batman. It's a little cheaper than what it used to be. Not you. Okay, maybe that's not accurate, but it's not as expensive as like some of the new $120 Mafex stuff. It's like $85 right now if you have it pre-ordered on Big Bad Toy Store. So I'm gonna probably get that. The next Mafex I want to get after that is Hush Robin, and then I need to hold off because I'm being priced out of Mafex. Thoughts on Hasbro no longer making toys in 2026. Interesting to see. I need to read up on that more. If they're done making action figures and Marvel Legends, that is a big problem. Massive problem. But at the same time, I am someone who has like almost every Marvel Legends he thinks he could want. So it would suck, but we're kind of getting to a point where action figure collecting is getting a little out of hand in terms of pricing, in terms of quality. Just being able to collect is just... Hang on. I'm trying to... Oh, that's right. These are swappable. Do I want to bother doing that right now? Maybe. I don't know. I'll definitely get a thumb out of here. I remember when Tom Cruise and James Gunn said that the Flash movie was good, and that was a lie. I didn't watch the Flash movie. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm just not gonna lie. I really have gotten quite comfortable with, if I feel like I really don't want to watch something, I'm not gonna watch it. There are a ton of Marvel movies I haven't watched, and shows I haven't watched after Endgame, and I just don't have the care to. I am watching Daredevil right now. I did watch some, other movies that have come out since that are newer. But I'm actually kind of wanting to see Thunderbolts, I'm not gonna lie, and I do want to see Fantastic Four. Thunderbolts trailers have been actually really good. The movie might not be good, but the trailers have kind of... They're doing their job. The trailers are doing their job. I cannot push this in all the way. Problem with Hasbro. Chris Cox wants more. Wants to focus more on video games. Interesting. Sorry, there were people on Instagram I've neglected. Sorry. JoJo's Toy Box. Adrian, how you doing? Hasbro toys, you still have Hasbro toys, especially Transformers. I haven't gotten Transformers in a long time. Their G.I. Joe line's doing good. Haven't watched X-Men 97. I really like X-Men 97. That one's really good. Really, really digging that. Alright, I need to switch over to look at Instagram for a second. Because I have 2 streams going on right now. I have Instagram for the people who don't usually follow me on YouTube, which there's a decent amount actually, and then trying to check the chat on. Trying to juggle 2 chats is not the greatest idea right now for me, while I'm also building a model kit. Just thumb. Alright, we're getting an articulated thumb out of here. I'm going to hold off on the rest of the building of the arm. This thumb is huge. Big old thumb. I'm going to hold off on the rest of the armor for this right now. We need to get to building the left arm frame. So this left arm frame is at least complete. Ramirez, how you doing? Mr. Bustat. Get out of here, bro. MCU X-Men roster in terms of actors or characters, because I honestly just kind of want to see a classic X-Men. Kind of do what you did with Fantastic Four. Just focus on the 5 X-Men right now. I'm not gonna lie, like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, and Angel, and then give us a Charles Xavier, of course. And at this point, we're gonna need to get, maybe bring back James McAvoy. I don't know, but we're gonna need to get Patrick Stewart out of here. Love Patrick Stewart. We'll always love Patrick Stewart as Professor X. His time has passed, unfortunately. It was nice to see him in Multiverse of Madness, though. Hope all is well. You too, Ramirez. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done any streaming on here. It's been a while since I've heard from you. Hope you're doing well. What am I doing? Okay. So I need to see. I actually need to start cutting off here, because I kind of mix and matched what parts from each. I mean, these are identical runners, but yeah, I gotta start getting some of these parts off. Nope. Ramirez, I got Toguro is in my private warehouse. I gotta wait for a model kit to come in this weekend. If it does, if it doesn't, then I'm gonna have it shipped. But Toguro's coming. Toguro's coming, baby! That is gonna be such a peak figure. I cannot wait. I really hope it's not bad. I'll have a conniption. Not gonna lie. Have you heard the MCU is going to make Professor X after me? Those are rumors, I think, right now. I don't care who, as long as you're good, I don't give a damn which actor's playing it. I really don't. But those are rumors. I don't really know what's going on with casting yet. So I'm not gonna believe anything until I hear from the official sources what casting we have. I just hope they're good no matter what. top this off. Focus. Careful. In my opinion, X-Men First Class is the best X-Men movie. That's a good one. I actually quite like... It's not perfect, but I quite like Days of Future Past. Does changing Magneto into a black person ruin the Holocaust first? That's why I don't know. That's why I don't really have an opinion, because I don't know if that's true. They could do a different interpretation, I guess. The Holocaust is pretty important to that character, but also we're pretty, unless again they're doing like a Fantastic Four thing, where that Fantastic Four movie is clearly in the 60s. Unless they're doing something like that, they've kind of, I gotta be honest, some of these characters have kind of aged out of certain decades. Michael Fassbender's, I mean, by extension, Ian McKellen too. Michael Fassbender's Magneto, that movie's set in like the late 60s, almost the 70s, and you have that set in the 30s, you know, that Holocaust stuff set in the 30s and 40s. The age checks out when he's a boy in terms of an adult in First Class. Now we're in the 2020s. We're like halfway through getting to the 2030s, and that stuff's gonna have to change, unless again they're just gonna bring them, you know, like I said with the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four is clearly going to be in the 60s, is what they've said. And then I don't know how they're going to introduce them into the regular timeline. And honestly, I'm not worried about them integrating that into the timeline of the MCU 616, apparently. I'm just going to go ahead and build this thumb. But yeah, until I hear some concrete stuff, I'm not really concerned, and I would rather stop hearing about casting. I'd rather wait for trailers and get surprised, because we just learned about too much casting that should be a surprise now. And it's no longer a surprise, and I don't have, like, when, you know, Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker in the Kenobi show. Okay, great. I don't have any surprise now. I'm glad they're coming back, but there's no mystery. What's your favorite colors for Wolverine? I would stick with the yellow and blue. His yellow and brown is good, really good. But I'm sticking with the yellow and blue for certain Wolverines. If they make a Marvel Legends MCU, I know it was like literally a 5-second scene, but an MCU version of the brown and yellow suit or tan suit from Deadpool and Wolverine, all you have to do is just retool some things and then just reuse the same head sculpt that they made for Hugh Jackman for that yellow and blue one. I'll buy that. Definitely I'll buy that. I need some water. Excuse me. I think at this point with this kit, at least the arms here, I know what I need to cut out almost completely, so I'm just blindly doing it, and then I'll clean it up as I go along. We're already at 55 minutes. Is not the worst, but I do feel like I'm going a little slow. Just a little. I think I'm done. No, I'm not done. Definitely need to cut these out. I need to try to stick to doing weekend live streams. I only was doing a weekday one so far right now for today, because I need to catch up on doing this model kit before I do a review for it, and then before I do a review for Vidar when that comes out. That's gonna be a lot to handle. All right, hang on. I hope we get Marvel Legends, MCU Sleeveless Wolverine. I'm sure at some point they're gonna reuse those bodies and give us the sleeveless version. People have been using. People have been doing a different number of kit bashes with doing sleeveless Wolverines lately. So I've seen people use. Someone on AliExpress has made straight up their own type of arms that you swap out. Some people have been using the X-Men Origins Wolverine version with those bare arms, and some people have been using G.I. Joe Classified bare arms, actually. I have not bothered to do any of that yet. I remember in the theater when my family and I were watching Deadpool and Wolverine, everyone cheered when he put on the mask. Yes. Although there are times where I think it looks like he doesn't have a mask, or it doesn't look like it's supposed to work how it does, and then you finally get to that moment and it actually it pops up like that. A little bit of a plot holes. I was noticing, it's kind of a nitpick. It really isn't that much of a big deal. I was noticing, like, all of a sudden, after being stabbed like 600 times by Wolverine, that Deadpool suit was like kind of normal, even if it's red and the blood maybe would cover it, but there was like very little puncture wounds. I was noticing that. It's kind of interesting. I really don't care about it that much. It doesn't ruin the movie for me. It's a fun movie. I don't think, at the end of the day, I don't think it was anything to write home about. I'm glad they finally got to put those two on screen, though. Then all the Twitter snobs were trying to say, "Oh, the contrast, the color correcting is bad." You don't even know how to touch a camera. I hope Batman has white eyes in James Gunn's DCU live action. Man. I thought we were going to get Robert Pattinson with white eyes. That would have been so sick. And I'm honestly hoping maybe they do that if they make it up. If they make an upgraded Batman outfit for the Batman and that has white eyes, I'd be cool with that. We need a live action version with white eyes, though, and not just like, oh, these are camera sensors I have on right now. Closest thing we have is either Chris Nolan's Batman, where he has like the like ectovision, whatever, like the echolocation. And those eyes are kind of white, but then there's also the armored Batman suit in Batman v Superman. Those have white eyes. It's time. I think a lot of these studios want people to see the actor's eyes, but we really don't need to for Batman. I would rather see white eyes. Since James Gunn's DCU is going to have Damian Wayne as Robin, where's Dick Grayson? Where's Jason Todd? Where's Tim Drake? And where's Barbara Gordon? I don't think we're going to get clear answers. I think at some point maybe they'll tease them. And I don't know if they're... Because the way that James Gunn has described the canon is that some actors and characters are back. And some are replaced. I mean, Jason Momoa is Lobo now. He's not Aquaman anymore. I don't know what they're doing about the Flash. But I think they said they're sticking with Harley Quinn, or Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. James Gunn loves his Peacemaker. I don't blame him. He's written a good character with that, the way he's done that version of Peacemaker. But he loves his Peacemaker, so whether that was in the Snyderverse or in the James Gunn verse, I don't know. Maybe Dick Grayson's Nightwing. I would also love to see him be Nightwing, yes. I would love to see Red Hood. We'll never get a Red Hood, I think. Honestly, people are just too afraid to see Red Hood in terms of the people who want to adapt these Batman stories. I think they're just afraid of Jason Todd. They're just afraid to do it, or they just don't know about him that much. Jason Todd would be a very interesting type of foil in a Batman movie, but I don't think we're gonna get it. Barbara, I have no idea. They canceled that one Batgirl movie, but if we get what I think they're calling it, Brave and the Bold, if we get that Batman with Damian Wayne, Robin, Red Robin maybe with Tim Drake or whatever he wants to do, and then Nightwing is there, that's gonna be sick. But yeah, I mean, if you're putting Damian Wayne in a Batman movie, I mean, the ship has sailed to see I mean, unless you're doing the, oh my god, what's his name? Unless Matt Reeves just has Dick Grayson not be Robin in that. Matt Reeves is not doing Robin. He's not doing it. He would probably put in a young Dick Grayson, and he would basically just be there. I would be hard pressed to see Matt Reeves do Dick Grayson Robin. But yeah, you'd have to start upgrading to. If Damian Wayne is the main Robin in a Batman movie, you got to upgrade the rest of the characters to be their other alter egos. Which arguably, I'd rather see that than Dick Grayson Robin immediately. Because I really would rather just them go right to him being Nightwing. Ace the Bat Hound would be nice too. Yeah. I could see them doing Ace in the Reeves verse though, just calling the dog Ace. And then that's where they stop. And part of me wants to be a little copium, and I really want Matt Reeves Batman, Robert Pattinson Batman to meet Dave Cornsweat's, is that his name? Dave Cornsweat? That Superman, but I don't think it's happening. James Gunn has pretty much said that those need to be separate, but I don't know. I mean, we already had a realistic Batman take with Nolan. I don't know if I just want that. I think it'd be fine if Pattinson's Batman started off as extremely realistic, and then I don't see a problem entirely with it going into Superman exists in that world. Because then you're just doing realistic Batman again. Then we've already seen that like twice. You better get in there. Batman Beyond movie in DC. They were going to do an animated one, and then they canceled it because Warner Brothers is allergic to making good decisions. And it looked like the concept art for it looked kind of good, too. Kind of like Spider-Verse. But, yeah, we are not getting Batman Beyond in a very long time. They'll probably do a live-action version. I would be hard-pressed. I don't think I'm going to be alive. I'll put it that way. I don't think I'll be alive when they make a Batman Beyond live-action movie, if they even want to consider it. They'd have to basically immediately time jump. If they want to release it in the next 10 years, they'd have to just go back and forth in the timeline, basically. And honestly, I'd like to see Blue Beetle come back. I like that actor as Blue Beetle, live-action Blue Beetle. I'd like to see that Blue Beetle interact with what James Gunn has planned. So sick of realistic Batman. I don't hate realistic Batman, but I do want them to embrace the comics more and not do what Zack Snyder did. So just make a comic book Batman in live action. We don't need... I will always believe that Chris Nolan wanted to make a big 3-part crime drama but he couldn't get the funds, so he just used Batman as a placeholder, as a means to make his movies work. Not saying that those movies are bad, but it's clear that Nolan wanted to tell a crime story first and a Batman story second, which is, again, not bad. I'd rather see a Batman story first now, with, you know, some of the fantastical elements from a comic book, you know? Let me see if I'm doing this right. Who's your favorite Robin in DC Comics? Well, Jason Todd was not a good Robin. But he is all, I love Red Hood. He's like one of my favorite DC characters. So I love Red Hood. But as a Robin, I think Dick Grayson is a better Nightwing than a Robin, which kind of is for his character arc in a bunch of different comics lines. Tim Drake is pretty good. Tim Drake is a pretty good Robin. I dig him as a Robin. His character can't really escape the Robin mantle either. Not saying, I think he's changed his name to his superhero names. I don't remember what it is, but at some point he didn't go by Robin at all anymore. But I still kind of see him as a Robin. Still a good character. And then Damian Wayne is overhated, honestly. I don't think he's that bad. I hope we get a good Superman video game, since James Gunn wants to do it again. I don't have hope for any Warner Brother tie-in DC video games. They really did bad. Some of it was on Rocksteady, but Warner Brothers' mandate for what they wanted for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was so catastrophically bad. Multiverses is a fighting game that was doing pretty well, and it had DC characters in it, but then all of a sudden Warner Brothers wanted to pull it, and then they said, oh, it's actually in beta. What? It's in beta? The game works. They pulled it out. They took the game away from everyone, and then months later they brought it back, and then the hype died down, and they shut down the studio. And then they shut down Monolith, who was working on a Wonder Woman game. And they also patented the Nemesis system from Monolith Games, Shadow of War and all that, to where if you want to use it, you got to pay Warner Brothers now for it. Which is so stupid. So they just don't know how to handle. And then they go out and say, oh, we're going to focus on the heavy hitters, or we're going to focus on what is going to be feasible for the company, which is Batman, as well as Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. Nobody wants to play a Game of Thrones game right now, like really at all. It's been well over half a decade since anyone was excited for Game of Thrones. So they just don't know what they're doing with their video games. I just don't think they're capable of learning anything with their game division anymore. So honestly, probably best that we don't have a Superman game, at least until they get their stuff figured out. I'd love to see The Question. A crime noir series of The Question on HBO Max would be good. I could definitely see that working. They'd have to make it a little bit more grittier and more mature rated on. If I was in charge of it, honestly, that would work well. Tim Drake was. Oh, that's right. Tim Drake just went by Drake at one point. Well, that's just your last name, dude. You're giving out your last name. I kind of like the idea of calling yourself Drake, but it's your last name. It's like if my last name was John Smith and my superhero name was Smith. Are you kidding me? WB relies too much on Batman, and in my opinion, has become one of the worst media. Dude, I am up there with them being a pretty bad media company lately, especially in the past 5 years with David Zaslav just tanking the company. He's just such an old head. He's not even that old, but he just acts like an old head. He doesn't know any. He thinks he acts. He knows better than pretty much anyone. He has no idea what is gonna make these properties he's working on good. Yeah, I mean HBO Max is a good. I still call it HBO Max, but Max is a good streaming service. I think it's one of the best ones, honestly. But that's about it. Warner Brothers just kind of sucks now. And until he's gone and they get better leadership, I don't think it's gonna work out well for that company anytime soon. Batman is cool and all, but he gives give the spotlight to someone else. I agree. I know why we're getting another Batman movie is because they need to set up Batman being in a team again. I just realized my live stream says TNUT'S. That's really funny. It does not say TFNUT'S. I don't think it's gonna fix itself, but that's actually really funny. At least not right now. Hold up. Yeah, okay. It's fixed. It says TFNUT'S. Damn, get this hand fixed, man. We're set. It says 73 minutes in. I'm definitely not finishing today. Did I finish this? No, I didn't. I have one more piece to do. This one. Wait. Yeah, that's right. So these are the hand frames. The arm and hand frames, I should say. I think it's like this. Yeah, there we go. Should I go ahead and put this on? No, I'm not gonna put it on right now. Game over, man. Game over. All right, armor pieces. Let's go. Let's get these frame sections out of here. Because some of these, a decent amount of these frame stuff, I still will need in a bit, but not right now. Excuse me. A lot of this is going to be the F runners. Oh, there's also B. Okay, I do have to get B back in a second. F14, huh? Get this off, come on. It's taking a while. I don't want it to, but it is. I need water though. I can already tell some of these armor parts I'm going to need, but I'm going to wait. God, I'm so glad these white parts I don't need to have to really file. Thank God. At least I don't really want, unless it sticks out really bad, I really don't want to file it right now. Just a single nip off of this should suffice. I'm actually doing the left arm right now, so we'll do... This feels like it should stay on way more than it is. I don't know if I did something wrong. Let's try the other one. Nope, that stays on. Okay. That's tight. That's a tight connection. So what did I do wrong? Something's definitely off. Although it doesn't appear to be. That's weird. It's too loose. Yeah, it just pops off really easily. I gotta figure something out. So why does this stay on more? Why does this have more friction? Because of this. I'll figure it out later. Actually. These need to be cleaned up more. I got a lot of problems with this. Do I need to swap these back of the hands? Because if not, then I might just glue them in. There's definitely more armor parts on... Oh, my back. There's definitely more armor parts on the arm than there was on the torso, it feels like. 9. 10. This one's 9. I gotta blow my nose in a minute. Actually, I'm gonna use the restroom. Let's also see if it pops up on... I need to see if it will pop up on the Instagram feed. Okay, be right back. Actually, there we go. All right, be right back. If it sounded like metal going through a wood chipper, I had to turn my I turned my trash compactor on in my sink. I was cooking earlier. I was getting some stuff out, and then just went it down. There was a spoon in there, so yeah. Oh, let's get this out of the way. Okay. We got 8 here. All right. That is wind. Is it raining is the question. I have no idea. So the idea is we're going to, excuse me, sorry. Get in there. All right. That worked. We're going to build the arms. So the arms are actually almost done completely. Like this one's almost done. I just need one more row to do. All right, I gotta get blue out here. Sorry, guys. 90 minutes right now. It's not bad. Not the worst. I think I'm probably going to stop at 2.5 hours again. These are both #1 pieces, so I'm just going to cut whichever I want out. And then we got to get a B out here. In fact, let's go ahead and get this other one out and put it to the side, and then I don't need to worry about this runner anymore. I do need a B runner. I'm grabbing A. B. While I'm at it, I'll take care of the B as well here. B34. Both sides are going to have B34. I think that's it for... That's it for the the B runner for the arm out of this. Beautiful. This is a really nice, I've already said it before in my previous video, this is a really nice kit so far. I have a couple problems with it, it's very minor nitpicks, but pretty good so far. Alright, let's commit to keep going. Are these underdated as they are? That was too close, actually. I should not have done that. I thought that was undergated. That's not good. No, it's not too bad. Just checking a message. Allergies have been real bad lately. Pollen count in my area is bad, really bad. Oh, of course, I have allergy issues 24/7, 365. Well, I have sinus issues, more accurately. I can't tell. This says nothing for me. Excellent. Damn. All right. That was kind of needlessly complicated. Whatever, I guess. Okay, so that doesn't do what I want it to. I think I have to stay in place, actually. Yeah, so I'm assuming that stays in place. Now, where is F1? Mr. Mike Lee, how you doing? Sorry, I was too busy cleaning this. I didn't pay attention. How's your Wednesday? I have to get the E-runner out too. Come on, man. E4 is a yellow part. Are these the only E parts I need? Yes, it is. So I'm just gonna cut the other one out. No, the NCA. Sorry. This is a yellow part. Oh gosh, that's not gonna get covered. So I need to sand that down. Kind of should. They really could have picked a better gate mark section. I'm not gonna lie here. All right. I dropped the piece. This is an ugly sticker on the high grade, and this is an all translucent piece here. That's awesome. Okay, that's cool. Damn, that is awesome. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Put this away for now. Let's go ahead and cut the translucent part out too to get that ready. And I gotta get rid of this D runner. Let's skip around a little bit. Dang. I know where it is. I swear, if I knock over the thing again this time, I'm going to be pissed. I knocked it over straight up last time. My nippers. You'll get to see a little bit of my dumbass head. Maybe, I don't know. Did I move the camera? I may have. I have no idea, actually. So to say, where's this part? I'm skipping around too much. I need to get to... here. I didn't even put this on properly. That's hilarious. Am I crazy, or did parts fall off, or did I just not put parts on? That's ridiculous. I missed a decent amount of these somehow. Okay. This bag of hand's killing me though, man. Yeah, that's not good. I gotta figure something out. It's 2 o'clock. I'm doing this for 2 hours. Let me see. I'm almost done with this, so I just need to see how long it's going to take to do the waist unit. Fudge. What is this? Is this excess plastic in here? Okay. I'm kind of locked in, almost ready to finish here. At least on the arm. I do need to check the waist, see if it's too much. Can't really work on it until Saturday, though. All right, cool. Now let's pick up. That actually took a long time. These legs look like a nightmare. I think I can at least start the waist frame units. Let's go for, I need F2. I need F1. Let's keep looking. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, that's 8 runners. Okay. I can at least start this. Let's see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe it won't take too long. Or who knows, maybe I'm eating my own words. Let's get this out of the way. This is what we have so far. Nice. Where's 10? What are you, I'm back, Mr. Bust. Let's go, Ramirez. I'm building the Master Grade 1/44 scale Gundam Barbatos from Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. And I am flipping around a bit and doing the waist unit, actually. I'm supposed to do the legs next, but I'm not doing the legs right now. And I've been building for a while. I've been building for like 2 hours. It looks like an absolute unit. This thing is pretty sick. The actual mobile suit itself in the show is so cool. It's a really good one. But this is my first master grade, and it's not that bad right now. It's just a lot of parts. And some things I didn't clean up properly, but can fix later. How's your day going so far? Cause I worked earlier today. Yeah, I worked midnights. Not fun. I worked earlier today though, and then ate and came home. Well, actually, I ate at home. I just realized I said ate me and came home. I ate at home. Doesn't matter. Who cares? 45? Day's going splendid. Just got done with my first job. Now heading to finish the job we are at yesterday. Nice, dude. What do you do? I can't say, well, I don't really know if I want to say exactly what I do, but it involves very similar video making like I do for YouTube. So I was just doing that all day. Staring at a screen for 9 hours. Putting them floors down. Let's go. Flooring. Nice. Hopefully the weather's good where you are, because it's starting to get kind of bad where I am. I think it's dark and windy. I actually don't know what it's like outside right now. But it's going to rain later tonight, like really bad. I've had a really bad sleep lately, so I'm hoping to get some sleep, even with the storm. It's been raining as of late, but I think it's finally done. Today's pretty sunny with some nice wind. Can't complain. It's getting nicer, dude. This winter was brutal, and so as soon as it turned to like 50, like 60, and hell 50 and all that, it like even like the high 40s was not that bad. I was over the moon. Finally, can't take the cold anymore. The bitter cold, that is. I see some Halo Chief. That is a Funko Pop box. I got that back in the pandemic. I keep that there because it is almost the same level as these lamps. I shouldn't move this. I'm about to knock over these lamps though. Yeah, I knocked something over. They're almost at the same level. So I keep it there. Although I think I could get some good money for the Funko Pop Chief now, actually. I feel you. Do you prefer the cold? Oh, I do prefer the cold, but I was getting tired for it for a while. I have really sensitive skin, so I really don't like the cold. I know that it gets really hot in the summer in a lot of places, but the bitter cold is bad for my skin, and it's bad. No matter how much I moisturize, too. 22. Halo model kits would go... Dude, model kits for Halo would go so hard. I would rather have model kits for Halo and then weather them and paint them up later than have to resort to going through 1,000 toys where it's like $150 for a Noble 6. That is so ridiculous. I get they have a lot of stuff, lots of engineering and die-cast metal, but I don't care. Make that shit cheaper. Just a little bit. Damn. No reason it should be that. I really don't see it being that expensive. Just downgrade the materials, honestly. Just a little bit. I got the Infinite Chief, the 1,000 Toys Infinite Chief, though, a few years ago. I think 4 years ago at this point. 3-4 years ago. And I got that on GameStop's website clearance, that half off for $80. Even at $80, it was a little too much, but as opposed to 120, it's worth it, and it's a fantastic figure. I hope they re-release it. There we go. There's a snap at some point. This might run a little over. Seems like it's a lot of frame right now, though. Let's see. We're at my finish line for today, almost. Not really. I do want to fully build this waist. So I'm trying to speed up a little bit without mucking it up too bad. No. Almost dropped that. Oh, someone's comment. Is this being your first master grade, did you build any high grade? Oh, I've built a bunch of high grades, dude. I've built like almost 100, not gonna lie to you. I got deep into this hobby. I've built maybe 7 real grades though. I'm digging real grades the more I'm building them. Especially the more recent ones. The older ones aren't awful, but some of them don't have great stuff about them and have loose parts, feel too fragile. But no, I've definitely built a bunch of high grades and only a few real grades. So I've gotten a bunch under my belt. My backlog was insane, dude. No person should have had that. Now 27. 47. And then I have built some miscellaneous Plamo, just normal model kits from other companies. Not a lot of them. A decent amount though. I really don't want to muck up this waist frame. I really do not want to do that. I think we're done with the frame parts though. And there's neighbor kids that are playing right now. You might hear them. $34. Currently working on applying water slide decal. Oh wait, I missed one thing before you said that. I haven't built any masquerades yet, but have the MG Curios, which is awesome. That looks really sick. And Finis Rinacosta is in the backlog. I think is that the Italian Wing Gundam? And plan on doing custom paints once I feel comfortable enough. I gotta it's not ready yet, but I have a custom I'm almost done painting, and I'll probably bring that into the last live stream for this one. So part 3, I'll show off a custom I've been working on. Currently working on applying water slide decals to my HD Michaelis custom. Michaelis is an awesome high grade. I have those water slides I've been meaning to apply onto my Michaelis as well. I haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, the Italian Wing Gundam. I remember hearing the name was kind of funny. Not funny, but just hard for me to pronounce, I guess. This is hard to clean up. Thankfully, if I mess this up, I might use the spare that this comes with, because you're only supposed to use one of these scratch pieces. Did I even do that right? Yeah, I did. I guess so. But yeah, Curios is 00, I think, and the no. Is it 00? I don't remember. It sounds like it would be. I don't really have any other master grade 00. I don't have any master grade 00 kits actually, and I don't own a lot of Double O in general, because I like a lot of designs from that, but some of the kits back then were kind of not awful, but a little rough. The real grade Quanta is not bad, but I personally think it could be a little better, just a little. Am I supposed to slot this in or what? How does this work? I guess so. Yeah, okay, I see. That's not a great design. Not my favorite design. How to push that in? Yeah, that can easily snap if I don't do that right. That was not supposed to be snipped. I almost snipped that. Yikes! Zoinks! Where are the F parts? Oh, there, the F parts are in here, I see. Might as well finish. I got 3 steps left. Coming along pretty nicely, actually. gonna get E25 out of here, actually. And then be done with this runner for today. Almost done. For today, at least. And this one needs to be coming out. Ooh. There's a lot of nub pieces out here too. I gotta clean this up in a bit. All right, here we go. Seems like it's gonna be sensitive here. Okay, there we go. Plugged in just fine there. It's a really tight connection, but hang on, actually. Come on. Is something gonna bend at all? I need to work around some of this articulation later. This is a little stiff, and this piece needs to be, I might have to glue this in. I don't know. But, here we go. And then let's show Instagram, actually. I don't think this looks bad at all. It looks really nice. All right, so that's going to be it. We've built the arms, the waist today. We built the head, and we built the upper torso Saturday. And I'm trying to figure out when the next day I'm going to be doing a live stream is. Probably, it'll have to be Saturday again, hopefully. If not, I can't do tomorrow. If I can't do this Saturday, it'd have to be the following Monday, yeah. And then I need to try to get on a review for this. And I have some other stuff coming in very soon. Like stuff in Japan is dropping this week. And then I'm going to have Hobbylink Japan send stuff to me. So that's it. So far, I'm digging this. A couple parts are not super fun to deal with. But this thing's really cool looking, man. And it functions really nicely. I don't like that this is loose. I'll see if I have to fix that. But yeah, I'm really digging this. So next time we're doing the legs, I'm going to do the backpack, and I'm going to try to get through the weapons too. All right, thank you to everyone who tuned in and watching. If you are watching after the actual live stream, appreciate that too. So yeah, thank you all, and have a good rest of your day. Stay safe. See you next time.